Follow us on Twitter. Insights.
Yeah.
2 I's in the middle. INSIIGHTS.
All right, y'all.
Legendary Rick Brown.
Yeah,
And
hold on for a second, Coach. I got Usher on this other. Yeah, I know. That's how we do Usher. Hey, look, I got to do a show. Hey, check us out on Insights on the app. All right, appreciate it, man. Talk to you later. Sorry about that. Hey, what's happening, family? Is your favorite reporter, Rick B here? You know the man over there. You know who he is. If you didn't know, now you know. It's the M to the I to the C to the K. Rocking to you each and every Wednesday. Coach Mickey Clayton. What's happening, Coach?
Oh, Rick, I can't do nothing with you. You ain't Usher. I see you with your cane. Did I see you on the field Sunday?
No, I can't even go there. It was not me, but it was a couple of our brethren who just looked so smooth out there. Oh my goodness, they look so smooth. What a show! What a halftime performance! What a game! Wow, it's good to be back.
Hey, and I appreciate being back and all the things that you bring. And we didn't do a show last week, but it's some things that you had that Rick did, y'all absolutely positively have to see.
With the Super Bowl coming up, I want to give a special shout out to those holding it down for the HBCUs. Yeah, we got a few connected to the game. So let's get started. For the NFC champion San Francisco 49ers, representing the Bulldogs of South Carolina State, will be defensive tackle Jason Hargrave. In his first year with the Niners, Hargrave added to an already scary front four by adding 7 sacks. It will be his second straight Super Bowl appearance as he played with the Philadelphia Eagles last year in their loss to Kansas City. The 2-time Pro Bowler was originally a third-round pick of the Pittsburgh Steelers in the 2016 NFL Draft. Also for the Niners is defensive coordinator Steve Wilks. A longtime NFL head coach and assistant, Wilks was also defensive coordinator at Savannah State before becoming the head coach. He also was the defensive coordinator at Johnson C. Smith. For the AFC and defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs, we have defensive back Joshua Williams, who attended Fayetteville State. A 4th-round pick of the Chiefs in the 2022 NFL Draft, Williams is a regular in Kansas City's defensive backfield. Also representing the Mecca, that's Howard University, will be defensive back Brian Cook, who unfortunately is on IR and will not be able to play. On the coaching side for Kansas City, offensive assistant Kevin Saxon was the offensive coordinator at Benedict. The Tigers' offense averaged 35.6 points a game under Saxon, as he helped the team record his first ever undefeated regular season and first SIAC championship. Finally, assistant defensive line coach Terry Braden Jr. played at Howard and Tuskegee and was on Bethune-Cookman's coaching staff. So good luck to the players and coaches. You represent your schools well.
Yeah, that was to be played last week, but it was still significant to make that connection. Good job, Rick. Good job.
I appreciate it, man. Hargrave had Happy Valentine's Day, Sports Diva. It's a shame. Steve Wilks just got fired today by San Francisco. So sorry, Coach Wilks, but you're talented. You're going to get another gig somewhere, most definitely. Joshua Williams did not have a good game for KC, but Jason Hargrave, he did have a fumble recovery for the Niners, so they represent it.
They represented you. You exactly right. And I see you twirling that cane. I see you twirling that cane. I see you. We had a little segment that played Saturday at the 70th birthday celebration for somebody we
Yes,
both
yes.
love.
Happy belated. If y'all didn't know, this man crossed over the 70th barrier, baby. He is 70. Give it up for Coach Clayton, everybody. Give it up, give it up, give it up.
Thank y'all through the grace of God and a host of friends. And that's one of the things that was kind of important to me in doing the birthday celebration was to kind of recognize some people who were really instrumental in me having a lot of the successes that I had professionally and personally. And to be able to acknowledge their presence and what they did and what they have done for me. I mean, and my family. I just, man, that was just important for me to just say that, and be able to.
Beautiful daughters, and we have spent a lot of time with them, and a lot of you I've met your families and things through them. To my right over here, Derek McGee and his best hand. I've known Derek since he was 17, 18. And staying his ass. Trying to get him with his PhD now. He's seen the end of it, but I tell his wife all the time that this is the happiest I've seen. And that's a direct tribute to you. Do I tell you that every time I see you? And everybody who know me, that I'm pretty much straight. Amen. Straight, no chaser. Don't ask me what I think, because I'm going to tell you.
Sometimes you're going to say it, they don't ask.
You know what? I'm going to get to you, Jason. Go around the room. Renard is another one of my former players. I remember we had a situation where my dad died, and Renard, Sleepy, one of my other players, was in the back of the church in Cocoa. And I was good until I had to stand up. And KK, my middle daughter, went by. And she looked at her granddaddy, and she literally got inside my jacket. And she just lost it. And Daddy lost it. I mean, to see her hurting like that, I just broke down. And when I looked up, Renard and Sleepy had stood up in the back of the church. Now tell me what they were going to do. I do not. But they stood up in the back of the church. I guess they were going to come get me. I don't know what they were going to do, but they stood up in the back of the church. And I always remember that. JD, another one of my sons. I introduced him as that. He was in my first class when I was at Upper Bound. And his son is my godson, getting his PhD, graduating from the University of Florida. His other son does well. With JD, he always tells me, he said, Coach, as long as I know you, you notice I'll never drink in front of you. And I've never seen him with a drink.
Since 1977.
He said, Coach, that's disrespectful. Dad's back there. She's one of my oldest classmates. We were together at FAMU. And a young lady I always looked up to. She was just at a different intelligence level for me. I was just when she would say something, I'm like, what? She was about to have it. You could explain it 19 times. I ain't gonna understand it. It don't matter how many times you say that. I'm not gonna understand it. But one of the common threads of what I say about people is that the people that are my friends that I'm close with them. Amen. I'm close with them. I don't care what they go through, what they do. I'm close with them. And we say all the time that people are with you for a certain length of time, and you don't ever know how long that time is. Mm-hmm. But when they recognize Dr. Elaine Bryant at the Ricketts Awards ceremony, and we were taping it with Insights, and I said, "Damn!" And she looked up. She said, "Lord, I can't take you nowhere." As long as I've known her, we've always been there. And she's always been there. She likes to say, when we have her on Mick and Rick show, she said, "Yeah, I was voluntold that I needed to be on the show. You don't volunteer, you get voluntold." Craig, I golfed with him once I got started. Earl actually got me started golfing, but Craig and his crew, I golf with every weekend. And my wife know him because I talk about him all the time. And I was new to golf. I started golfing COVID-19, and Earl taught me into going. And so they would go different places to golf.
Leave it to
My
sports
man
leader.
just can't go everywhere. He just can't go Mariana, Quitman, all these different places. And I'm like, I'll be back up in these woods. Everybody know I'm back here. So Craig and Van is way worse than Craig. Somebody hit a golf ball one time that got too close to me. Van was getting ready to run back up there and jump on the man. That ball almost hit you, Mickey. I'm like, man, no, I'm gonna take him out, Craig. He said, talk to him, because you know he will. He said, Mickey, you don't know he'll fight here. If there's 4 or 5 of them, he just jump in the middle. Jesse, we've been close forever. And every Mick and Rick show, he sends me a comment on the show. Every show, not some shows, every show. I've had his daughter on, I've had his son on, who's gone to Orlando. He's an old coach. And I love that about him. We get into some interesting conversations. When he told me that he was a pastor, I was like, oh shit. I said, well, I've been cussing around. And he said, well, I used to be a policeman too, so I've been on both sides. I'm like, okay, but I golf with him, and he's so positive. Just, he said he was my first and only son. I was telling people he was on campus. Dr. Humphrey stopped him and was like, Mickey doesn't have a son. You must be his nephew. And he said, yes, sir, I am. He said, I feel you because you look like him. So, but for Dr. Humphrey to just make that assumption and knew, he's like, Mickey don't have a son. So you got to be related to him. So we had him for a while with the basketball team. I remember we don't go real deep. Because I also coach my daughters. And I said, man, I said, y'all got it easy. Because I didn't get y'all like I got the boys thing. Daddy, you could be no worse with us than what you were. And they were like, oh, yes, you can. Let me tell you. And every guy that has played for me can tell a story that I typically don't remember. But it sounds like something I would have seen. So they have him to tell. And Jason would say stuff like, why I got to run? I'm a trainer. Why I got to run? Why I got to get on the line and run too? One time we lost in Cookman in Orlando. We came straight back and did what when we got back. I know it wasn't no classic. But my 3 daughters, each one of them are different. My relationship with each one of them is different. And it's still liable to change. And I stand here. She would be up in the morning, Sunday morning, I go to Books A Million, man, she ain't sitting there waiting on me. She buying her book, she make sure ain't nobody get in the car but her. She ain't waiting nobody up. And she would ride with me. Mickey, who I did not name after me, my wife did. And we had another name. They always ask, what was the name? I said, I don't know. But when she opened her eyes, I was like, oh Lord, she looked just like her daddy. So she named her Mickey and named it different. I show you, Mickey a little peculiar. Everybody calls me Mickey Clayton. The only people call me Michael are bill collectors. If the bill collector called my house and asked for Michael Clayton, I know it's a bill collector. I said, he's not here. Who is this? It's his cousin. And I went to see her play in Hampton because I told her when she started her first game, I had to be there to see her. And she put all the stuff in the Hampton Press Guidance. Her parents' name are Michael and Barbara Clayton. My name is Mickey. His name is not Mickey. So all through the MEAC, when they would hear my name, Mickey Clayton, everybody would call me, "This must be your daughter." I said, "Yeah, thank you." The story with him is, I didn't remember this. He says he remembered us coming in when he was in school. And when we Applebee's?
No, it was Ruby Tuesday. I was the host when it was open over there, Governor Square Mall. We were on the date night with your wife.
You can go in and tell the story.
And so, I knew about Coach Clayton because I was a fan of his
Hey, Doc.
and so
Happy Valentine's Day.
and so my eyes are fixated, like, oh, Coach is here.
Hey, Doc.
Brings his wife in, they get seated, and the whole time I just watched. And I watched, because sometimes couples will go sit down and they really don't pay attention to each other. And so you pay attention to your wife the whole time. And I told Mickey years later, I said that image stood out to me. Just how you were devoted to your wife, took her on a date night. So I take my wife on date nights, and I put the phone down and I devote my attention towards like you did. So appreciate that.
Thank you, man. That means a lot. You say that.
That was in 1995.
Wow. And see, he also came to see my daughters play. He would come to see them play. We would talk about the kids and different things. I would try to let him know what was coming. For those of you who don't know, Sarah was the first women's athletic director at Florida A&M University. Right. Awesome. She started the women's program. And one of the first coaches she hired was me. I was 23. I just got my master's. I applied for a job at Bethune-Cookman and back home at the Junior College of Brevard. And I almost got the one at Brevard to teach psychology and be assistant basketball coach. Cookman said they couldn't hire an assistant coach until FAMU got assistant coach. And when Sarah heard that I was trying to coach, she ran over me and said, "I ain't got to look for nobody else. I got my basketball coach." And our first year, we went 4-15. We had, I didn't know what I got myself into. People had scholarships and stuff. We played Florida State, first game, lost by 55 points. They were scholarship athletes. We basically had people that were on campus that wanted to play basketball.
Right.
And we got drilled. Man, the next year we split. We went 14-11, and
What'd you think, Rick?
It was great for me to see the people, and you speak about it often, but you always spoke of relationships and how those relationships have shaped you and have made you who you are, and and how you continue to thrive because of those relationships. And to see the people who I may have only seen through Zoom or heard you speak of, and to meet them and to talk to them, that was pretty cool. And to see their basically their love for you, because that's why they were there, coming from Chicago and Pensacola and everywhere across this nation. That says a lot about who you are. If I had my hat on, I would tip it, but I have my cane, so should I just knight you? It's hard to knight you through but you get the point.
Thank you, Rick. And it was important for me for you to be there and all of that. I mean, I wanted it to be a different type of celebration. It was a celebration about some of our achievements, personal and professional, but also an acknowledgement that it couldn't have been done at all without the help of so many people who were integral in that happening. And sometimes in the face of a lot of adversity and people telling you can't do something, I tell people all the time, you can't let them define or let others define what it is you want to do. And we still have another couple clips we're going to show you, but I just wanted people to get a feel of what it really was about. I really did. I just thought that was important. And I wanted to hear what your thought on it was.
It was cool. I mean, when we came in and Les hit me on, he said, got the videos up. When the music was playing, had the videos of the songs. I remember those. I mean, I was young, but I remember those. I was like, yeah, we used to be on our uncles or in the back seat of our parents' cars listening to the music. So it was cool. It was nice. It was what I expect from you. Low key. I mean, low key, nothing outrageous. Now I almost thought you was gonna do a little roast or something and roast everyone. So, but that didn't happen, and no one had the nerve to try to roast you because that wouldn't have worked. That wouldn't have worked either. Because even if they would have gotten away then, you would have gotten them tonight. So they did right there, and it was great. It was real. It was solid. It was solid, man.
And I appreciate it. A special shout out from Sports Diva. She hollered at Dr. Miller. Happy Valentine's Day to her too, and congrats on the Super Bowl win. And Dr. Miller had something that we were getting ready to touch on. You know, we don't like to deal with negativity, but that craziness in Kansas City today. Yeah. And you know, that was just a little crazy in Kansas City. You know, on the celebration and everything. And one of the things that stands out in my mind about that whole event was the fact that some of the people in the audience or they were there ended up holding a shooter. You know, if I can't tell people to do that, but a lot of that was around if people get together and stop some of that, you know, it won't ever get to that. Yeah. You know, and I remember in the terrorist days, me being a good size that I was, when I would get on the plane, I'm serious, they would actually put me in first class or in the special seats. They'd bring me extra food, big guy, feed the big guy. If you have any issues, can we count on you? I'm like, yep, keep feeding me. Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah,
we'll work for food.
Yeah, we'll work for food, you know. So it was just always interesting, I think, that when people got together, they could kind of stop some of that. Yeah. You know, and Sports Diva say, see something, say something. You know, that being quiet and all that stuff. You know, snitches get stitches. No, I ain't gonna go to jail for you. I ain't ready to do that. You know,
in facts, that's factual. And to today's society, what we have to be careful what we promote. And you just said it. You know, the snitches get stitches and all of that garbage.
Yeah, those are basically the people who committing the crime and trying to scare you not to tell on them.
Exactly. And you have to, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for everything, folks. Mm-hmm. You have to stand up for yourself, for your family, for our community. If we're going to be who we say we're going to be, or get to the point where we want to, we have to do it.
And it's something we talk about when we do our Stop the Violence in the School sections and things. But I have to put this up here. It's changing the subject again, but it's Dr. Miller, you are tough on us than the men. Stop playing. Boy.
Tell them,
all the women say that. All the women say that,
Mhm.
including
Mhm.
my own children. They say that as well. Until their cousin was able to tell them, nah, that was not the case. And he started telling stories. So you can't let my former players get together. Gary McGee, Morris Scott, Cordell. Like you cannot let them get together because they start on some stuff. And I'm like, y'all just need to stop it right this minute. Stop it, stop it, stop it. I said,
Mhm.
y'all really need to cut that out. But we just always felt that who we were meant that there were certain things that we had to do to be successful. But on this birthday celebration, I gotta give a special shout out. It's not in the tape at all, but to my home people at Merritt Island High School. Woo! The support and things that we gotten on social media and oh my goodness, on Facebook. I mean, it was almost like a class reunion from so many of my classmates then with special shout outs about the birthday and 70 years and some of the accomplishments and it has gone on from when my wife and I went to the 50-year class reunion. I mean, it just really has been going on since then. And I mean, they're posting pictures, high school yearbook pictures and all kind of stuff. I mean, it's I mean, that's just real love. I mean, these are people I've known for since the 70s. I mean, and it was always important for me to recognize a lot of people who've been significant in terms of what has happened because a lot of people not here anymore. And I think I'm down to my last roommate, and we actually gave out some information to those people who traveled to fathers. We gave them. We only had a handful of books left from uh, freshmen, and I had to autograph those. But those people who came the furthest, we gave them a book. We only got about 6 or 7 left. So if y'all need to purchase one, y'all need to holler at me. And it's from the 70s. Life and times of some roommates. I mean, it it was something we're really kind of proud of. But we have something else that came out of here. Out of the stories and what we talked about, it spurred us to do some things that are getting ready to come that we're going to produce some special segments, especially with our
Sarah
women's
Hill, don't
history
put your
coming up.
head down. For those of you who don't know, Sarah was the first women's athletic director at Florida A&M University. Right. She started the women's program, and one of the first coaches she hired was me. I was 23. I just got my master's. I applied for a job at Bethune-Cookman and back home at the junior college at Brevard. And I almost got the one at Brevard to teach psychology and be assistant basketball coach. Cookman said they couldn't hire an assistant coach until FAMU got assistant coach. And when Sarah heard that I was trying to coach, she ran over me and said, I ain't got to look for nobody else. I got my basketball coach. And our first year, we went 4-15. We had, I didn't know what I got myself into. People had scholarships and stuff. We played Florida State, first game, lost by 55. They were scholarship athletes. We basically had people that were on campus that wanted to play basketball.
Right.
And we got drilled. Man, the next year we split. We went 14-11, and under her tutelage, we had beaten Florida State more times than every other sports program at Florida A&M University combined and double. They have teams at FAMU that has never beaten Florida State in anything. We went Division I because at the time it wasn't NCAA, it was AIAW. We went Division I because the way they had it set up, you in the same division, you had to play everybody twice.
Florida State decided they didn't want to play us no more because we were costing people their livelihoods. They didn't like losing to us. We fired about 3 or 4 of them. True facts. We went Division I without an increase in budget, with no additional money to make Florida State continue to play us. And they tried to, as we grew, they tried to just play us once. They didn't want to come in our gym and play us. And I remember one time we went to their gym, we went to Tully, and we said, y'all ain't pull out enough bleachers. Our women's team don't draw that kind of support. You let us do this, coach. You just coach your team. I'm gonna let your little ass go. About 5 minutes later, we hear they pulling out the bleachers. And that might have been the first time. And it was like a 1-point game. And we had a girl at the free throw line, and I got up and walked on the bench. I said, nobody better get off the bench. Nobody. Stay on the bench. Stay on the bench. And one of my girls hit a free throw to tie the game up. She jumps off the bench, runs on the free throw line, grabs her by the neck, and starts jumping up and down. What happened? Check. My mind clicked. I literally grabbed her and threw her on the bench. I threw her on the bench. And somebody in the stands said, Mickey, get your head back in the game. And I said, wow, you're right. They missed the free throws. We went to overtime and won. She was sitting so far down on the bench that the girls on the team wouldn't speak to her, talk to her, or nothing. They were like 6 rows. They were sitting 3 and 4 to a seat. Nobody wanted to be close to her. But we were able to beat them, and Sarah knows we had a pretty good run there for a while. We had a week we beat Florida State, Florida, and Miami in 1 week. In 1 week, we owed Florida a game in Gainesville, and they told us don't come. Who can play in the home court? Yeah. They said, no, that's all right, Mickey, we good. We played Auburn. They were ranked 10th in the nation. We beat them. They were ranked 10th in the nation, the highest ranked team that Florida A&M has ever won in any sport. They were ranked 10th in the nation. So we had it going. We had it going pretty good. And Sarah was the mastermind behind it, because I could kind of just coach my team and all the other stuff that went on. She handled it. And I didn't have to be involved with all that other craziness that was going on, because everybody was not supportive of women's sports. They didn't want the women's teams to get anything. They didn't want them to do well. We put ourselves in a position where we didn't have any recruiting money to do stuff, and everybody was complaining. The other coaches were complaining that they didn't have budgets to recruit. And the story came back, well, Mickey gets his done, why y'all can't? But we had alumni and boosters. Now, the Lord was supposed to come, man. He used to go get kids for me. I could call him Friday afternoon. He worked at UCF. So it's a game in Miami. I can't get there. He said, what time is the game? And he'd leave work and drive down there and go see it. And he knew A&M people at every high school. And he would call me back. I mean, we signed some real legit All-Americans. One was April Manning. We signed some real legit All-Americans that we were able to get in and able to get them. But Sarah, she doesn't get enough credit. I don't think they even acknowledged her until they hired the new women's AD. Somebody said, well, she's not the first one. And so then they went back and recognized Sarah. Y'all give her a hand. And she
Awesome.
yeah,
Not that growing burger.
okay, look, hey, we getting up there. And when we won in the men, Bill Bogan, he likes to tell us story. When we won in the men, and Maya was always upset that we ain't get up to the championship game. Y'all ain't bring me to the championship game. we won 4 games in 5 days as the number 9 seed, wearing one orange uniform. One orange uniform. And to talk about how they try to set you up. See, this is what we try to teach our guys. The stuff goes on, but you still got to persevere. We had beat Cookman Saturday. We came back. We supposed to leave Sunday morning. It's storming. We ain't got no bus. That ain't the first time they had set us up like that before. Wasn't no bus. We couldn't get to the airport. It's 6 o'clock in the morning to get to the airport. I'm telling guys, look, if y'all get to the airport, I will pay for your parking. But we got to get there. I didn't get there. Because somebody over by the reservation ran through the stop sign, hit me, knocked me in the ditch. I had to get airplane tickets to our manager to take so my team could get to the conference tournament. And we won. Man, it was and the other part, we had 7 players. We had 2 people on walk-ons. We had walk-on trials, so that we would have 2 more. Jason, no. Derek, no. T-Ray, the trainer, was the 10th person, so we could scrimmage. Because we didn't have enough to scrimmage. And then we went to tournament. Them guys who were too hurt to play, here they come. They want to go to the NCAA tournament.
Should have let him go, coach. Should have let him go, coach.
Yeah. If you can't play, you ain't rolling. Why would we take you? Your whole mission is different. You out there trying to hit the girls. There's nothing you doing that's going to help us. So everybody was mad at me. Who did we play? Wasn't no playing game. We played Duke. We played Duke. And I had never seen the FAMU people go as crazy as they did. My assistant coach was sitting there, and we said, man, look at those FAMU people. They were sitting across from us. They were doing the wave. Up, down. Up, down. It didn't go around the arena. It went up, down. Up, down. And we just sat there looking at them like, they having the time of their life. Duke beat us pretty bad. At one point, the game was 21-17. Krzyzewski took a timeout, raised his finger like that. We ain't get a shot for 5 minutes. I'm not saying we ain't make a shot. We ain't get a shot tip. He stepped that sucker up and it was over with. Man, that game ended. We were trying to stall the ball and we didn't want it to break 100. When we came back out the locker room for the second game, the guys will tell you, we got a standing ovation. Everybody in Charlotte stood up and gave us a standing ovation. Because as they did the interviews, we were telling them stuff. And the reporter looked at me one time, he said, wow, fam, you was like a black Duke. And I said, nah, Duke is like a white FAMU.
Tell him.
So Sports Illustrated sent a reporter down to cover us. Because they said that coach don't have good sense. You know, see, do y'all have a tennis shoe deal? I said, yeah, we buy the shoes, they give us the laces. So then they came down, they wanted to do the show on me, and I wouldn't let them do the show on me. I made them do it about the team. And then my assistant coaches got mad because they said they weren't featured enough. So I said, I can't do that. But it was a once-in-a-lifetime adventure. You're looking at the only guy who has won Division I championships in men and women's basketball at the same school. We tell y'all because Sarah can tell you they are busy rewriting history as we speak. And they try to write out a lot of what we've accomplished. And we are actually working on a women's athletic story. And I'm working on a story called The Forgotten Champion. You know, and really that championship is about our women's team that played in a predominantly white conference that we dominated. We were 21-7. We lost 6 games by 5 points or less.
in that league was FIU, Georgia State, Georgia Southern, Mercer. Well, no black colleges in there. And we won that. That was the first basketball championship for women's basketball, and nobody talks about it.
I see Pam Riley telling me Silk, who was there. She knows. She was on my first team. She was on that party. I wish she had been on it when we lost that first game to Florida State. We turned around and got them the next year. But Silk was on that. And that first team I had was the first assistant coach I was able to hire. And we've been through that. So I mean, this weekend wasn't about anything other than acknowledging those people who stood by us to help us get to where we got to. I mean, that's Rick. That's what it was.
But Coach, wasn't it also about Saturn?
Saturn was the Saturn deal came on that car accident that I was talking about.
Yes.
And as everybody was trying to find an angle for us winning the conference tournament, and you saw some of the commercials and articles at Studio 13 you see behind me. Everybody looks for an angle to do their story. And so what they said was that, Coach, what happened to you that made you realize this was going to be a great week for you and for Florida A&M? And I told him, I said, I had no idea it would be a great week for us because my week started off in a rainstorm, sitting in the ditch in a car accident while my team flew to Virginia for the play-in game at the Arthur Ashe Center that we had to win to even get in the tournament. And the story ran. And USA Today came out with us being the Cinderella team, with they called us the Noble Nine, and how we had won the tournament and coach gets out of ditch to lead's team. And so that created a problem because my wife didn't know anything. My mom didn't know anything about the accident. So you get an accident and your mother don't know.
It's the media's fault.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm getting torn a new one. It wasn't my dad who would cuss you out. It was my mother. Boy, she said some words I still ain't figured out what it meant. And Saturn got it and ran with it. And flew me out to San Francisco to do a photo shoot and sent me out to Hollywood to do a commercial and all of that. And that, man, I look up and that hard copy was in every magazine from Sports Illustrated to Newsweek to Time to Home and Garden. I'm on the big spread. People calling me and talking about, that guy, was he a movie star, actor? I'm like, no, man, I'm a basketball coach. This story that happened to me really happened. So in the face of being set up, because the bus was supposed to be there for us to take us, and for the second or third time that season, the bus didn't show up, God reached in and said, you know what? We're going to let something positive happen out of this anyway, because it was truly his work. I mean, so that's why we always say, when people do a lot against you, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. If they had the bus been there like it was supposed to be, we wouldn't have been in the accident, wouldn't have had the opportunity to do the commercial and the attention that the university got from it. So, and some of those people in the room knew about it, had been there with us, and we had talked to, because we don't, you're A&M people. You just kind of keep on going. You don't really say much about it till, 30 years later, 40 years later? People are like, get out of here. We didn't. I said, yeah, that kind of stuff happened.
History.
Yes, we appreciate it. Pam Riley talking about the suit. Boy, you got to leave that silky slim, boy.
Tell it, Pam. Tell it.
Oh boy, you get her going. That's your near home girl there, boy. Get her going. But again, I just appreciate all the love from the people who help support us to get to where we are. And as we say, a lot of people that kind of falling by the wayside. Some no longer with us. I'm losing roommates. I think I got one left. But and we talked, as you remember, Rick. We talked about the fact that the people who were there might not be together or like that ever again, or all of us might not even be there in 2 weeks. I mean, you just never know. So those people who came, the miles they came, the distance they came, turned around, and some went back before day the next day to be there. And everybody wanted to know what to bring, Rick. And I said, man, just come. We appreciate you being here. Well, yesterday being my birthday for real, I opened up the cards and gifts, of which I'm appreciative for every one of them. But I don't think I've ever gotten the type of cards and gifts that crew left. They left some gifts that will be able to allow me to do some things. I mean, I was like, if I'd opened those cards at the event, it would have shown on my face when I saw what was in there. Y'all have been like, what the hell was in that card? It was they made me feel really special. I mean, everybody who came did that. So it's not about the card, because everybody who came, I appreciated each and every one of them, and the wives coming and all of that, And you and your wife were about to roll away with the best outfit till Pimpin' Bill Bogan came in. And we've gotten a lot of stuff, Rick. And that's why I keep asking. How did you feel? What was your feel on the floor and stuff?
Oh man, it was like I said, man. The whole event was cool, man. And I'm gonna tell you how cool it was, because me and my wife are so similar that when we go to certain events, we just look at each other and just nod, and it's time to go.
Mm-hmm.
There was no nodding here. We were just we were in the moment. We were talking to everybody, and people were talking to her, and she was making new contacts, and it was that kind of event. It was like a mixer.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a mixer. And for people who hadn't met in person, like I said, for me, it was great. I mean, seeing Judge Miller, I mean, I've talked to him numerous times, but I had not met. No, nah, take that back. That was my second time meeting him. Met him at one of the basketball tournaments. Second time. But it was nice seeing him again. I hadn't seen him in 8 years or so. So, Coach Eli from Ricketts, and always loved seeing Hank, Big Bad Hank. So it was. I enjoyed it. My wife enjoyed it. It was an event. It was an event. That's the best I can put it. It wasn't crazy. It wasn't out of control, or it wasn't slow or dull. It was like if the family got together for a cookout. Well, maybe not, because some cookouts can get kind of crazy. But if the family got together just for a gathering and just chopping it up and having a good time. And then you have, grandpa, uncle, daddy over here, and he Coach doesn't drink, y'all, so it wasn't like drunk uncle. Like if he would have given me the mic, and I might, well, supposedly. But even that was cool, because some people can take things and spread it out, and it's just too, okay, wrap it up. I think everyone was all into that. I think everyone was into everything you were saying. And like you said, you got ideas coming out of that. And people saying things and saying, hey, yeah, we need to know more about the forgotten championship. Championship that came before I even became a rattler. I didn't know about that at the time. At that time. So yes, because we have to, folks, we have to preserve our history. We have to tell our history, especially here in this state, where, and Coach said, they're not trying to even wipe us out. They're just not going to mention it. It's just, it's just an app. We're just going to ignore that part of that. No. Not going to happen. If we don't do it, who will? They say the basketball all the time, and they're in sporting events. If not us, who?
Right.
Okay, it's gonna be us.
Right.
We're gonna tell them.
Right.
That's what we do. That's what.
And I appreciate that, Rick. I appreciate that. And one thing that each individual said was that, how well everybody got along. But pretty much all my friends are kind of cut from the same cloth, and you could put them together and not know each other, and in 5 minutes everybody's picking at each other, laughing, joking. And I'm really about connections and allowing people to develop relationships. It's like, it's just even growing up, and I'm at FAMU, so it's a bunch of women, attractive women, and my brother would say something like, "Man, you didn't even introduce me to her." I said, "No, there was a reason." "Or you didn't introduce me to him?" I said, "There's a reason." But when I introduce you to somebody, that means they pretty good people. I said, "Rick, come on over here. I need you to meet so and so and so," or da 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 da. Then they good people, and when I bring you, they know. Oh, this guy right here pretty straight. He pretty straight. Coach, Coach wouldn't have introduced me otherwise. Because some of those same guys that I talked to, Coach, I need to talk to some. Coach, introduce me to her. I said, well, let me tell you right now, she's not the party girl. That's not what she's trying to do. If you're not gonna be serious talking to her, it ain't gonna go well. That ain't how she rolls. I'm just trying to tell you. And they'll always say, Coach, okay. Thanks for the heads up. Or
there's a few hard heads who didn't listen, and they had to learn the hard way.
They had to learn the hard way. Exactly, Rick. Exactly. So I really, I really did appreciate, everybody and all of that. And again, I keep having to share the outstanding amount of love we got on social media from different people in different places. Man, it was just overwhelming. Now, a couple things we do I do want to mention. One, ladies and gentlemen, we're looking to unveil real soon. You'll start to get some information from Polk County, out of Polk County, about Polk County Game of the Week. And Rick Brown will start interviewing, talking to coaches and players and teams. So Polk County.
Get ready, Polk County. Get ready. We coming. We coming.
And then we have some other things that we continue to work on. It's on our social media, and we keep trying to branch out. And
who is the only player to win Super Bowl MVP honors from the losing team? A. Chuck Howley. B. Jerry Rice. C. Lawrence Taylor, or D. Randy White. The answer is A. Chuck Howley. Which singer's rendition of the national anthem was the longest in Super Bowl history at 156.4 seconds? A. Whitney Houston, B. Alicia Keys, C. Natalie Cole, or D. Jennifer Hudson. The answer is A. Whitney Houston. Which is the only Super Bowl matchup to have taken place 3 different times? A. Giants vs. Patriots, B. Washington vs. Dolphins, C. 49ers vs. Bengals, or D. Steelers vs. Cowboys. The answer is A. Giants and Patriots.
One.
Now,
Couple
we
knows
did
I
it
didn't
two
know.
different ways. We did it with the AI voice reading it in the background with no music, and we did it with the music with no voice in the background. Which one did you like better? Y'all tell us too. Let us know which way you liked it, with the
Let
A1
us
voice
know.
or with the music in the background. Which one did you like better, Rick?
I personally like. See, I'm biased because of the music, because I love that beat. But the AI voice is something to that. It's
Okay.
something to that. I'd rather have fans let us know what you like.
Mhm.
Let us know what you like. What did you like, Coach?
I liked the music, but then and that was the one I did most recently. But then I kind of liked
See,
I liked the AI voice. I see Sports Diva gave her opinion. She said she liked the AI voice.
hmm
You know,
hmm
but
and that's how I feel, Coach. I mean, like I'm biased because of that music anyway. That beat, I always like that beat, and
mhm.
it's a smooth beat. There's something about the AI or even the voiceover, but that AI voice, you're like, hmm, yeah, yeah. You're more in tune to it. So
Y'all let us know.
AI by edge.
You say AI by an inch. Yeah, okay. Hey, before we close, we got something going that here. Uh, uh, Pam Riley said she liked both. Hey, she split the difference just like we did. We kind of split on it either way. You know, we
hmm
kind of like it.
hmm
Hey, Sip, always glad to have you to see you on. We appreciate you and being a part of it. We appreciate that. And boy, there she go, that New Jersey, just like you. She loved that beat.
Something about that beat. I tell you, Pam, for real, for real.
Yeah, Arnett Moore special.
hmm
Net Net Mo.
Net mode.
Net Mo. He bringing that for you. No, so we look like we kind of froze right at the right time, right towards the end of the show. Right towards the end of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate y'all being with us.
Yes, thank you for joining us. Uh, make sure make sure to follow us on the app. Insights app, is on your phone. You won't miss us. It's free. It's free for the first 500. No, the app is free. Now the premium content that's on that app, which is in Netflix mode, the premium content for the first 500 viewers is free for life. For life. For life. Y'all
Phone
know it. You hear me? You do you hear the sound that's coming out of my mouth? Okay.
life.
So make sure follow us here. Insights. 2 hours in the middle. Don't forget that. Very important. And on that note, Coach, you got anything to say? Guess not. Uh-oh. You might be coming. You
What do you
might be.
say?
You
Guess
might
not.
be. Hey,
Hey,
you are
can
blind.
you
We can hear you, Coach.
hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that, ladies and gentlemen. We got the legend there, Rick Brown. He could do that himself. That's because that's who he is. We appreciate y'all being with us, and we'll be back again next week. We always try to keep it new, keep it real, and let you
Yeah.
see what the Insights got going.
Until next time.
Until next time, each and every one of you, we appreciate you being a part.
Stay up to date with the latest latest from Insights. Visit our website at insights.com. 2 I's in the middle, INSIIGHTS.com.
Insights is the copyright of Mac4 Enterprises, a Florida corporation. This broadcast is produced under the exclusive ownership of Mac4 Enterprises and is the intellectual property and trademark of Mac4 Enterprises. Comments of the host and other individual speakers on Insights represent their independent thoughts and representation.
Peace all, and we'll see you next week.
Yo.
Yo.